Alright, in this video, I kind of want to show you my process for going from a low poly, very blocky model to the bevels to the refined, I guess you could call high poly object that looks a lot more visually appealing. On the screen here, I'll kind of put like a before and an after, and I want to show you more so my thought process behind this and how I approach these models. So let's get started. As always, if you're brand new to Blender or hard surface modeling, I will have a link to our training program in the top of the description, pop up here somewhere as well. So make sure you grab that if you're new to Blender. And what I want to do here is take this cube. I want to actually, before I do any of that, what I've been doing recently is using the world cavity feature. I think this looks better in terms of the visuals on the model. And then for matte cap, you can just use whatever you like. I really like this one here. It just helps my brain read the model a bit better. So these are the settings I'm using here. Now the next thing I want to do is scale this down a bit. And then what I want to do is bevel. Actually, let's Control A to apply the scale. And then maybe just bevel this, kind of scale that in. I could maybe move that down as well. We could move this up. I want to create like a basic shape kind of like this, and this is why I'm using cavity, because with cavity you get these nice kind of highlights on the model. Same with the matte cap. So when I'm making any sort of model, I'm not really adding bevels or anything like that straight away. I'm creating a low poly object, so to speak. Next thing I'm going to do here is maybe add in a cube. We'll move this down, and then I'll just move this face up a little bit. And we'll make something simple like this. And again, not worried about the bevels or anything like that, or the details. I'm just getting the basic form created. And now what I might do here is perhaps, let's not bevel that yet. I think, actually I could bevel it. Yeah, let me bevel that and then maybe just scale this in. And I could move that down. Something like that maybe. Again, very basic shape. And then what I want to do here is add in a cube. We're going to move this cube over, and let me just bevel these two edges right here. We'll run a difference boolean right here on this area, kind of scale that up. Just make sure, in this case it's just a chamfer, but I want these edges here to flow with this edge right here, so it kind of follows the same shape, right? So I'm going to move this back. Maybe rotate this a bit on the Y in this direction. So now we kind of have this cool type of shape right here. Sorry, I can't see my keyboard. Let me rotate that. And then it's not really following the edge here, so I'm going to scale this on the Y. And then just scale this down manually and move this back. Again, we can just keep kind of refining the placement there. And then I'll go ahead and run a difference boolean right there on that area, and then we can always scale this up or down, and then we'll just run a mirror over to the other side here. You can already see I'm kind of refining this shape, but I'm not adding any bevels or anything like that yet, just making the basic block out. The next thing I'll do is come to this top face. Let me inset this and inset this again, and then kind of move this down, scale this in a little bit, just to create like a cool shape there on the top. This is all just, basic operations, purely to make the object look interesting, nothing more than that. So now we have this interesting looking type of low poly shape here. And, once you have the block out, that's when you can start adding your bevels. That's when you can start adding details and refining the object and texturing and all that. But most people, they jump straight into that before they even have a basic shape to begin with, and that's a big issue. So once you kind of have like the main block out you want to create, what you need to do is determine the flow of the bevels. Now what I mean by that, let me kind of show you really quick. I'm going to go ahead and apply this boolean here, and then apply this boolean right here. When I say flow of bevels, what I mean is where we place the bevels, because you're going to get drastically different results depending on the placement of those bevels, okay? Now what I mean by that is if I go here and bevel this, or this whole area, and then maybe bevel this area, really quick. You're going to have a little bit of a different flow on the shape than if you place the bevels in a different position. Like for example, what I mean by that, if I just undo this, what I might do here first is maybe I'll come in, we'll bevel this, right? And then maybe what I'll do is bevel this and then bevel this right here. And now we already have a little bit of a different flow compared to before because I beveled this edge, whereas I could have, beveled this area. And now the flow of the shape is going to be different, right? This is important because depending on where you place those bevels, let me turn off the loop slide here. Depending on where you place those bevels, they're going to completely change the shape of the model, and it might look a little bit worse than if you kind of planned ahead. Now what I think I'm going to do here is bevel this area. And what I technically should be doing, because these are two separate objects, technically I should go in and just bevel this together so it flows the same direction. And then I can get in here, I can bevel that, symmetrize to the other side. Now we have this shape. And then what I can do in here is I can bevel this area, kind of like that. Or, another option is I could bevel that area. The flow is just going to be a little bit different depending on where I place that. So let me just see, how that looks. You get the idea. Then I could, go down here and do that. You have a lot of different options here. What I think I'm going to do first is get this area right here beveled, and then same for this area. We can just get that beveled really quick, run our symmetry, and make sure you have everything shaded auto smooth. And then what I'll do is I'll come in here to this area. I can introduce a bevel on that, maybe on this area right here. This one is like just one option. There's nowhere else to add the bevel here at the top. What I might also do really quick is we can go to the mesh machine and slightly move these in a little bit, kind of like that. So now it's a little bit more square. So I could do that, for example, and that could kind of change the shape a little bit. Then I'll just come up here to the top, we'll do that. And you can already see the result. And then this one here could be a much, tighter type of bevel, depending on the type of shape I wanted. Notice if the bevel is big, it's a lot softer. If the bevel is tiny, it's really a lot harder on that edge. And you can define the shapes a lot more, interesting, so to speak. So you can just kind of do stuff like that. And then down here, I just realized I forgot to get this area selected as well. No biggie. Basically, I can just bevel this and then just patch this up manually. It's not a big deal. Just be careful. There's some redundant geometry there, but I can just quickly patch this up. That was my fault for not paying attention. And then we'll just dissolve that. Then symmetrize, and maybe for this area, again, you can define that as a large bevel, maybe a small one. Notice how the shape of the bevel really defines how the object's going to look, right? You want to be careful there. And then down here, we can do a small bevel. And look at how much more interesting this basic shape here looks once I've introduced the bevels after blocking out the shape. This is why I really recommend doing the blockouts first. No bevels, no details. Do this approach first before you do any sort of beveling or detailing. Bevels are the single most important thing, in my opinion, in hard surface modeling, besides like general visual design, right? Because they make your models look, significantly more interesting. And I could just go in here, quickly add a bevel modifier for those small areas in there. And then, you have an interesting looking object here that didn't, take me that much time to make really. So you can make, in an hour or two, way more complex models once you have the base shape created. That's kind of the idea. So I hope this is kind of useful to you, kind of give you some ideas where to place the bevels, things like that. And as always, if you want to learn our full hard surface modeling workflow, where you'll actually design your own hard surface model in Blender from scratch, grab our accelerator program. This is the best one on the market. as evidenced by all of these student results right here. You're not going to find anybody else in this space with this level of student results. So if you grab this course, you will learn a lot in a very short period of time. So if you're interested in that, the accelerator program will be linked in the top of the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.